Don't be sad. There's still time to register and bid.
I am sad. I'm sad, but I'm happy. I'm here at Propstore, propstore.com with Brandon Allinger. I'm here for the umpteenth time. I have come and visited this thing like 6 times.
Right,
Like
yeah.
sometimes when Brandon pulls up in the morning, I'm just sleeping by the front door, like all curled up. Can I come? Can I touch it? I got my gloves on. I brought them from home. Say what it is for anyone who doesn't know.
If you haven't already heard me say it several times, it is Darth Vader's hero dueling lightsaber from The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's one of the 3 known hero-level metal lightsabers from the original trilogy that's out there in private hands. I guess one of 6 overall lightsabers if we're counting the resin one and the ones in the hands.
Yes, exactly.
It's pretty much everything that you hope might surface in an auction one day. Here in one lot.
Used extensively for all of the dueling in Empire and Jedi.
Yeah.
And possibly with pieces that were used in Star Wars as well.
Right.
I like those photos.
Yeah.
And allow me to say to you and to Propstore, God bless you for your level of rigor, to use a Veep word, rigor with your photo matches. It is a pleasure and it is exquisite, and there's no nonsense, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's kudos to you and your team. Well, let's pick it up because we're here and it's incredible. And for some of you, maybe you've already watched 11 of these things like I have. So obviously what makes it the dueling saber is this here, and this is where the wooden dowel that would have been wrapped in the reflective tape would go. And then as we've discovered, this is basically sort of goes down deep and then is locked in with these sort of metal cylinders that are basically in the flash tube but screwed in basically into place with these suckers here.
Yeah.
And again, some of this is how you were able to identify it among other things.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I said this, I think, when we talked on the podcast, but there's that book from the 90s, Star Wars to Indiana Jones. They show some lightsabers. They have a Darth Vader lightsaber in there, which was a backup one, but it has these same Allen bolts.
Right, the same method of build, basically. Yeah.
And that's something that's not really part of the design of the prop as much as it's a behind-the-scenes thing of how are we going to mount a blade in these things? Right. We've got to get some
And they were basically fine with these bolts because the honest answer is most of the time, and we talked about this as well, and you should check out our episode all about the lightsaber deep dive, parts 1 and part 2, on the Stuff Dreams Are Made Of podcast and on our YouTube channel. But because basically you're using 2 hands on a lightsaber, and George Lucas specifically wanted it to have weight and wanted them to like use 2 hands. Like even though later on in the prequels they're whirling and dirling, he wanted this sort of feel. So who cares if there's a couple of screws in the build that aren't there in the in the belt one, which is whatever, because whatever. But it's also interesting because of these hands, it was a little harder to photo match than your average piece, right? Because it's often blocked.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But you guys got some great photo matches. We can show a couple. The D-ring.
The curvature.
But there's a waviness to
it's not straight.
Yes, it's not perfectly straight. There's obviously some scratches and whatnot. Yeah. And then this was interesting. Big dent right there. That looks either like, I bet someone's hand got hit and it dropped. You know what I mean? Because that's what that looks like. I mean, that's a real dent. And again... go ahead.
Another thing worth pointing out is it's been in the same collection since the 1980s, a time when nobody knew what these things were made out of. Nobody knew about these Allen bolts. Maybe today in the world of 2025, like RPF lightsaber geeks, people are replicating things like that. But back in the day, just nothing close to this.
I made one, and it was pretty great. Like, I think it would have fooled an expert. But my mistake was I built it on an old Mauser. That was the problem. And it was one from like 3 years ago, and I left a really bad trail. But anyway, so maybe I'll put it in one of the other auction houses. I love the wear and the tear, obviously, on the
broken grip.
The broken grips here. I don't know. It all just speaks to sort of.
It's just it.
Yeah, it just is it.
There's just some things that come in where you're like, oh no, it's not like one of, or it's not a backup. It's just it, and that's what this is.
This sucker's been you've been traveling around the world a little bit. It was in New York.
Yes.
Or it's going to New York.
It's going to New York.
Going to New York.
It went to London. I hand carried it to London, which was a little bit nerve-wracking just because...
Did anyone ask at like customs?
They
like,
asked
were they
to
like,
see it.
what?
Well, at customs, we had to do the official paperwork process called a
Okay.
carnet, where you basically say, I'm moving this around. You know, you pay sort of a licensing fee for
So
the
you
privilege
have
to do so.
documentation, so to speak.
Right, but what I found out, and having never done this process before, it's a bit of a trick. There's
Okay.
some steps to it. The TSA people are entirely independent of the customs people. So
course.
the customs guy kind of goes, okay, let me see what you got. Okay, sign your documents. I wonder if security's going to let that through. And you're like, huh?
Yeah.
What? And then you're going, I have a marketing event in 48 hours.
Right.
If they won't
And
let
my
this
plane's
on,
leaving in an hour,
and
yeah.
and I can't check it because
Right.
it's quite a valuable item, it's like, yeah, it was a nerve-wracking hour there of, and went through security. The guy knew what it was. He's like, oh, lightsaber, cool. Told him it was the real one for the movie. Cool. Swabbed it. Here you go. See you later.
Swabbed it?
They did swab it. Yeah.
Like it's a bomb?
I guess. I don't
Wow,
know.
interesting.
But interestingly, I also had with me the Men in Black Nerdlizer, which
Okay.
really does look a little bit like a bomb with some rainbow cables and such in there.
Or a dildo, which they see a lot of it had, by the way.
I guess
think,
so,
at
because
TSA.
they didn't ask to open that
Not
one.
even a
It just
second.
went right
Because
through.
that looks
Yeah.
like it's like got a remote control kind of
Yeah.
dildo kind
Yeah.
of look. I don't know. I'm just saying. Jillian
Jillian was flying
yeah.
with me, and she's like, "Do we have to take things that look like bombs?" I was like, "I'm sorry, we do. That's what we're going for."
Well, I guess at least it wasn't the other saber that had the piece of the old grenade.
That's true.
Right, yeah,
Right,
that was
yeah,
an actual,
right.
technically
Yeah.
a bomb.
Yeah.
In all its world travel and whatnot, anything interesting? Anyone have anything, have people that worked on the movie seen it? Anyone have anything interesting to say? That
I mean, there's definitely some
Yeah.
obsessing going on, and I guess, I've seen some debate about these aluminum cylinders that are inside of it. How big are they?
in terms of the thing that's holding in the rod.
Yes,
Okay.
which we can see, like if we point the end to camera, you can see very clearly this aluminum surface, and that basically goes down to here, and then there's a second one that's lower than that, which is the one that's being locked in by the Allen bolts, and you see this part sometimes on film. I
Right,
mean, you
because
see
they
that.
go a little forward and you get to see it. Yep.
But so people are sort of speculating, like, was that a deliberate attempt to weight the handle so that it would be well balanced? Because in the world of swordplay,
That was what Ryan was thinking
Yeah.
a little bit too, from all of his experience with the Conan swords and obviously
Yeah.
the game of House of the Dragon swords. That you would want a more weighted bottom to it all. It's hard to imagine that they were thinking that far in advance.
I just don't know if they were that precise.
Exactly. I think they wanted it
yeah.
heavy
Yeah.
across the board, but I don't necessarily think, other than the fact that, well, I guess you could say that this section is larger than maybe this section by
Right.
a bit, that maybe it makes it heavier. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think their first objective was just how do we get a blade in this
Right.
thing, and it's like you can't just stick it in there or it's just going to get knocked out. They fought pretty rigorously with these
Yeah.
things, and it was pretty intense. I'm sure they got beat up a little, and in order for the sticks to not just break or go flying off, you had to have a
It
pretty
had to
solid
be
structure.
on there. You got a little bit of damage we've talked about too. Sorry. Oop, just going to go like that. There's a little bit of damage there that also looks like maybe from just whacking each other with it, possibly.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think likely what happened there is there was a piece that got knocked.
Right,
was
and then
hanging
they
off.
kind of just
They
trimmed
had
it
to
down.
file it
yeah.
off.
Which
Yeah.
I just, again, I think is just, again, part of what makes it so damn cool.
Definitely.
There is it's in the catalog, and then there's actually, it's their own, you have your own sort of standalone catalog.
Yes.
That just covers this, designed by our friend Wade LaJose.
That's right, yeah.
Who is, all three of us, the
He
co-author.
spent
on
many
the
a
book.
late night obsessing on
I love
every
it.
nuance of that book. Yes.
He called me about something, asking about a photo. I can't even remember what it was to tell the story, but the man obsesses it like nobody's business, which is wonderful.
In relation to this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
He was like, "You know about this, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know about it." So then he felt like he could tell me
Right,
about whatever
right.
he was
Yeah.
obsessing on. The book is wonderful. I got the regular catalog, but I did not get sent the little booklet. I have a PDF of the booklet.
Well, we normally assume that the people who get the big one don't want the little one.
No, I want the little one. I'm a possible bidder. Allow me to say. I'm a
Wait,
possible
are
bidder.
you saying you didn't get the red booklet about the lightsaber?
Yeah.
It's shrink wrapped in with it.
Oh, maybe I didn't realize that.
Did you just not turn it over?
Maybe.
Take it,
Okay, you think it's in there?
I thought you were
Okay.
saying you wanted the highlights.
Oh,
catalog.
no, I got that too. I got that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, it should be
All
part
right.
and parcel.
I didn't
It should
see
be
it.
shrink wrapped.
I thought I
Unless you
flipped
got the rare error copies,
Ooh,
one every
which I can
600
put into your
units.
next auction.
Yeah, that was
I could-
bundled without.
How much would that
That's
sell
right,
for in
yeah.
an auction?
Well,
Maybe-
we'd probably pay for a lightsaber.
Yeah, pay for
so
most of the
this is
lightsaber.
working out well. Yeah.
This is it's
Yeah.
pretty.
If you don't have one, we'll get
Right,
you
no,
one
okay.
or a couple.
Honestly, you guys should have done a hardcover.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's enough pages.
It's too bad that none of the Vader guys are still really around, because like that
signature
signed
edition?
would have been
Right.
pretty incredible. Yeah, exactly.
No, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Dave Prowse and Bob Anderson, the stunt guy, they are both passed away. The person that could really speak to it is Mark Hamill. Mark, if you're out there, call us. It'd be fun
Come
to
on,
see
Mark, it'd be fun,
What
yeah.
he remembers.
What is your favorite thing about this? The one last question.
I mean, I think I would say it's the fact that we know it had the blade on it and that it still has this steel rod, because at one time, like in the archives, Lucas archives in the 80s, they had a few with the steel rods.
And they trimmed them,
and they
right?
cut them off, which I guess if it was out to here or something, maybe, but I don't know. It's all part of the originality of it. I think they wanted theirs to look like hilts, handles, like the
Right.
belt versions. Maybe this is weird to the public, but I guess understanding it, it's actually a big part of the charm.
It's funny, and again, it's all personal taste. I have seen the belt one that is out there. It is incredible. It is wonderful. It is fantastic. But there is something about that this was both the fighting one in terms of just how it was used, but also that this is here. That there is a sense of the usage, the special effects that they created to make it work. All of those things, I don't know, for me, adds to it in a way.
If a blade ever surfaced, it would kind of be that times 10.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of a blade being out there, so I don't know that that's
and yet
going to
they
happen,
are a lot of pieces of wood sitting over in the archives.
Yeah, they have a little box of them, but that's it. And so, I don't know, I think it's that and just these Allen bolts and just kind of the level of effort that they went to. Unlike, we talked about the ones in the first movie where they just said, let's take a piece of pipe and kind of make it look a little bit like it.
Like something, yes.
This one they went, no, it needs to match exactly to the belt one. Therefore, we have to use the real flash, and therefore we have to figure out this kind of crazy system to mount a blade.
They modified it in a really wonderful way that made it work. I was laughing because in that catalog you were saying there's sort of a piece of an X-ray.
Yes.
But not the whole X-ray.
Well, we had to leave some.
I agree. By the way, I agree. There should be some.
The winning
mystery.
bidder can reveal the X-ray to the
Any
world.
complaints about the lack of the bottom of the
I
X-ray?
think more speculation, more like, why did they show it like this? And I think it was a deliberate choice to preserve a little bit of mystery and not show exactly how all the internals were made. But it was interesting to X-ray it. We wouldn't want to disassemble it. You probably
Thank you.
could, but it just seems like not the right thing to do after 4 decades. So we wanted to leave it intact. But the X-ray is just an interesting way of understanding exactly what's going on inside of it.
It's just fabulous.
Yeah.
And I should point out, you have an entire wonderful, both in day 1 and then in day, I guess it would be day 3, just Star Wars section of just a lot of really wonderful things.
You liked it.
There's a Stormtrooper helmet from Return of the Jedi that's quite nice. We looked in one of our other videos, please check it out, at some of the art, which is great. Just a real wonderful bit of stuff. One of my favorites is you have a full pilot suit from The Force Awakens here, the J.J. Abrams movie.
Oh, nice costume.
Really nice, and I love how complete it is. It's got all the
Strapping.
straps and the hoses and whatnot, whatever.
Yeah.
Have you ever checked, in The Force Awakens, they often put the name of the actor or the character on the inside of the chest thing. Have you guys ever looked, actually? Yeah.
Are you sure?
I swear to God.
All right, I'll take a look.
Yeah, keep looking.
See how I get this off. Oh, it's just a flip.
Freedom! Brandon.
Jeez, Dave.
I'm
Ouch.
sorry. I'm dying.
I'm taking this back.
I'm sorry. Do me a favor. Tell my wife I love her and to sell my collection through Julian's.
Pretty sure that was Propstore. Yeah, big news, everyone. March 2026, we have coming up the David Mandel collection. You've heard a lot about it on podcasts, not this one, but other podcasts. It's coming soon. It's going to be great. Get your bidding paddles ready.